Analyst Joachim from Wharton via Skype. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. Talk to us about what happens when we can see what appears to be a tussle between the business rescue practitioners and the airline in a situation like this.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to your viewers. Fundamentally, you need a lot of cash to restart operations. And it's very clear that the government hasn't made such resources available to SAA or the business rescue practitioners. The announcement of SAA did, however, also address the forward scheduling of regional and international services, which are not going to take place. But as far as the restart of domestic operations, it is very unclear on what the conditions will be for the restart of commercial operations. My understanding is that under level 3 and 2, it's really only business people that has to be carried. Subject to the regulations of the airports. And we don't know what those will mean at this stage. So it may be possible for non-scheduled or business charter aircraft to start operating, and perhaps smaller commercial aircraft, but the bigger type of aircraft, 180 seaters and so on, won't be able to sustain operations under these conditions. Even under level 1, air travel is still restricted under the general rules of necessity, of things that can't be done while you're at your home. So large-scale commercial operations would, in my view, only take place after all the levels of COVID-19 restrictions have been abolished.
Mm-hmm. So I was also asking about the optics of when a business rescue practitioner and an airline appear to be jostling over what happens at the airline. It's not the first time we've seen people trying to intervene at the airline with mixed results. What can we read from that?
Well, I think the intervention of the minister into the strategy of the business rescue practitioners has certainly caused a lot of confusion. And it's very, very clear that in terms of the Companies Act, only the business rescue practitioners are in charge of the company. If that has to change, the minister can bring an application to remove them. But until that has been done, the business rescue practitioners are in charge of the company.
What next for SAA?
Well, I think the business rescue practitioners have made two options available, that of a structured wind down or alternatively a liquidation. There has been a lot of other talk, but all that talk really requires substantial funding, and nothing has been put on the table at this stage.
Mm-hmm. Joachim from Wharton, thanks so much for your time. He's an aviation analyst joining us via Skype there to discuss this confusion about whether or not South African Airways will or should be flying come June the 1st when South Africa moves into level 3 of the lockdown. We know it's day 62, and now we hand over to my colleague at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, Arabile Gumede, for the rest of your On Point.